we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Let's go!
And they'll run it here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go! What? 90!
On 2nd down, Dobbs. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Come on, let's get...
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide. Because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Dobbs to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Come on, let's go! Grind 38! Grind 38!
Now Dobbs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
With their lack of pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away.
Well, put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go. 1, 9.
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. Powerful running. Now the ball comes loose, and this belongs to the Vikings. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Completes it right side to Dodson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. A give. This is Cook. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They run the counter with Cook. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Dobbs steps away to his left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. And they'll go on the ground. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go! What? 90!
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a 3-point game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Come on, let's go!
A handoff to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Come on, let's go!
And they'll run it here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go! What? 90!
Dobbs looking to throw on 1st down. And he lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Come on, let's go! What?
Now Dobbs. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And out now come the Vikings. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult.
Quick strip, the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go. Ryan 38.
Throwing here, Dobbs. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Wallen will set up shop at the 33. Now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
I know the scouting report him to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second down, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
On 1st and 10, Downs. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
Here's Dobbs to throw. And that is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nigel Bradham not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Working out of the gun, Cousins, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so because the run has been very effective for them.
Now Dixon, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on, let's go! White 90!
On 2nd down, it's Dixon. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Let's go!
Back to throw Dobbs. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st down, Dobbs to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. To throw is Dobbs. Forced out to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Dobbs is throwing. Dancing to his left. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go. What? None.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead.
Good job.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. So now this to get themselves a lead here heading into the break. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Final play of the half. Cousins going deep for Diggs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was the Giants who were able to come away with the road victory. Sterling Shepard, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. We'll stay in the NFC South as we head over to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Alex Smith leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And oh, he coughed it up. And this belongs to the Vikings.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. They run it again with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll bet.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Derek Barnett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Here we go. Red 38.
Off the play fake. Here's Dobbs. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. This is caught.
Bomb.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Philip Dorsett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what... does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 8. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
To throw, Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear, but here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 4th down.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Flush to his right. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe, what time is it? Okay.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, 54 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Leave it, 48.
Cousins on first down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Cousins again. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the post.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception. It's 3rd down.
He's got to kick the field goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Leopard!
They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. to throw now on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They're trying to show you they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The Eagles on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll drop to throw. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
All right, here we go.
On 1st and goal, Dixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Elliott on for the extra point. And now it's blocked. Well, the Vikings have got him, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 45. First down, here's Cousins. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. And on the ground they go with the running back. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. In on the stop there, Andrew Sendejo.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Throwing, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to first. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On third down, Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be fourth down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Patriot. All right, here we go.
On the give, this is Dixon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is... And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 44 yards. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. To throw, Cousins. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Derek Barnett in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it. Third and long for Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Coming out as they get ready. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Hurry up, here we go.
One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
that's skeptical about it, or
a little
did you trust
skeptical.
it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly. Wise beyond.